So we got our lights set up and our level is really coming together, but we can add a few more flourishes to our level in the way of using some particle systems. This is going to really just go over some of the built-in particle systems that come with Unity and tweaking some of their settings to get them to work for us in our scene. You can find more advanced lessons on creating your own particle systems on many places on the internet. Let's just try to keep this lesson as simple and straightforward as possible. Let's let Unity do a lot of the work for us, that way we can learn it a little bit easier. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to want to import another package into Unity. So in our assets folder, let's go and import a new package. And let's go and import the particles package right here. Unity's like, you want to import all of these things, all the textures and prefabs and scripts? We do. Make sure all is checked. Let's import those guys in. Unity's bringing them into our project, and like all Unity supported packages, we can find them under standard assets. And now we have a particles folder, and we have a whole slew of options that we can use for particles. So why don't we tweak some particles and let's get something interesting going in our level. Why don't we make this barrel become lit on fire? Alright, so let's go to our fire folder and let's pick fire 1 and let's bring it into our level. Alright, where is it? I thought that was a 0 point. Oh, okay. Wow, that's a pretty big fire. I don't think that's the kind of... I don't like that. Let's try flame. See what flame does. Ooh, that looks more like a burning barrel. But that's way too huge. Why don't we go ahead and try to position it with my flame group selected. Let's position it onto the top of my barrel there. Alright. But as you can see, it's way too big for the level now. So we just scale it down, right? What the heck? Scaling's not working for this flame. We got to figure out another way where we can control the size of this flame right here. So let's expand our flame group. Right now you see that Unity's giving us a nice orange light source, and we can kind of move this around however we want it. It's just a point light that they've lit orange, so we know how to control those variables in the component and the inspector right there. So inner core, smoke, outer core. You'll notice that Unity only lights the particle on fire whenever you have it selected. So we can see all the planes of texture that are being emitted. We need to figure out a way to make this smaller. And you can see over here on the right all of our particle components. There's a lot of them here. But let's go over and see if we can find the ones that we really want to tweak. Size looks like a good place to start. Let's see what happens when we mess with the size. Let's make them really small. Well, I mean, it made them smaller, sure, but they're still rising way too fast. Let's just go through these and see if what each one does and how we can get this fire under control. I'm going to kind of maybe make this a little bit bigger again. I think those flames are a little bit too empty for me. Alright, energy. Let's see what happens whenever we take the min and max energy and bring it down. Oh. Looks like the energy corresponds to how much the flames like to rise and dance around. So maybe by controlling the energy we can get this set up pretty nicely. It's just about tweaking values. Maybe we do need to make these smaller again. There we go. Max emission. Whoa. Looks like max emission does what it says and determines how many of these particles are being shot out. Oh, we can even move where the particles are emitted from. That might be pretty helpful. Alright. So with those three main areas right here, I think we can wrangle down this fire. Now we need to pay attention to this outer core. And let's move this up just a little bit. And let's do the same thing here. Let's make the size a little bit smaller. Maybe like 0.5 and 1. Let's decrease the energy. See, and we're going to select the whole flame again to see what this is starting to look like. I mean, it's a little bit better, but it looks like the fire is just kind of hovering above the barrel now. I mean, I think we need to fix that outer core. Maybe bump that up, maybe move it up. I think we just need to turn down the max emission on our top one right here. There we go. Now we've effectively made a smaller fire for our barrel. And I think we might need to fix the smoke. Let's do the same thing here. Let's turn down its energy. Let's do like a 1 and 2. Oh. That's still a little too tall. Notice how you had to let the older particles fade away before you get a real tell on what this was doing. Let's do 0.5 and 1. There we go, and we'll just tweak this down. And now we have a more manageable fire system going on. There we go. We've tweaked the variables on that. It's poking through the wall a little bit, but I don't think you'll see it too much. And if you do, we can just move it a little bit more in line to where we want it. A little bit off there. And there we go. Alright, so that's how we can kind of make a fire particle system. Let's see if we can get some of these panels sparking. I think I saw, under legacy particles, I think I saw a sparks particle. And again, you have to select the particle system to see what's going on here. That's looking good, but I think those sparks are way too big. So why don't we control the size of that once again? 0.02 and 0.04. That's looking a little bit better. Alright, and I think they're shooting out a little too far. So let's turn down the energy on these. You'll also notice that when we turn the energy down, it shoots out more and more. Let's play around with the emission values. There we go. So we've messed with the sparks a little bit, got them in place, made them a little bit smaller. And there we go. There's 2 particle systems that you can use. There's multiple ones, so just play around, figure out what they do in the inspector, and just have fun with the particles. One note though, don't go too crazy with the particle systems. The more particles you add, the bigger hit you have to your frame rate and your game. So don't go too crazy with them. Just a few, just to add a little bit of flourishes to your level. You don't want to distract your player in your level, you just want to add a few nice little touches to it. Alright, so in the next chapter we're going to see how we can export our own packages.